Okay, let's see if this is working. I'm currently this is so I don't do a lot of these. Can you guys? I don't know if you can hear me okay, or you can jump in. Um, Let us wait for the people to join. It is. Let me see if it's actually working. I'm gonna basically try to. I'm gonna watch myself from the actual laptop to see if this is streaming. I just finished a stream on TikTok, and I wanted to focus a bit more time on doing some streams here on YouTube as well. But let's see exactly if this is working. So say something if you are seeing this video. I just literally started it. So first of all, if you're just joining in on this particular live, just wanted to say thank you very much. 9K subscribers on YouTube. It has been what a journey it has been. So I just kind of wanted to jump in and kind of say hi, thank you, answer some questions, and also discuss a bit more about the current situation. Viro, hello, Bleep and Viro. It's something, man. It's I think in terms of growth, the YouTube has. I've only started to kind of like invest time in YouTube about a year ago when the pandemic hit, and quite fortunately I was able to kind of like basically push content. How do you look so soft? I think it might be the camera. I don't think I particularly look soft by myself, but basically the journey of YouTube, as you will, it's been like about a year now. When the pandemic started, I started uploading content a bit more aggressively. So it's quite, I'm quite happy with like the fact that I've been able to kind of get to 9K so fast in 1 year. Right, a lot of times it takes more. It takes people like 1 year to get to 1,000. So I'm quite fortunate to have gotten to 9K, and I think obviously in the big part the responsible thing for the YouTube subscribers has been TikTok, which is quite weird how these things work out. Like, you get subscribers from TikTok to go to YouTube, and they're both such different animals. And I myself, as a content creator, for I am a content creator now. It's interesting to get adjusted to this whole new world of doing YouTube and online content, especially now because the big update is that the pandemic is renewed, guys. We'll get one more season. It is wave number 3 is hitting Germany. So I will be unable to do live shows in Berlin, at least until at least April and further on. So obviously, I think what's going to happen is because they've renewing the updates for like they've renewing the lockdown every month. I think realistically, only when the weather gets warmer, we will be able to have shows happening in Berlin. So most likely in June, July, right? So until then, I have 3 more months of fun lockdown in front of me. But it is good because I can spend a bit more time on doing YouTube content. And so far, a lot of the YouTube content, and I thank you very much for watching it. I really appreciate you guys kind of jumping in there and watching the content. Can I see your comments? I can see it, yeah. Live chat, okay, others well, okay. So basically the situation is with the content on YouTube. There's been a lot of like the clips that I've been had so far. I was very fortunate to have filmed because one of the reasons why I decided to film a lot of my content. Hello, Amar, good to see you here, sir. I'm just displaying a bit more what just thanking people for being able to reach 9K in terms of subscribers. And so far a lot of the stuff that I've been uploading on YouTube has been my clips, which I've been doing pretty good. I appreciate you guys. I'm happy to see that you guys are enjoying it, and also been doing the anthem reviews, which actually have been the source for new jokes because I'm learning more about countries, and you can tell a lot about country from the anthems, right? And going forward, the question is, what else? Where do I want to take the YouTube? Which direction? I like doing international content, country-based content, but I also want to keep it. I don't want to do I don't want to do. Hello, Mariana Jugula. Good to see you here. So I don't know if I necessarily want to do more. I don't know, more anthem reviews, more movie reviews. I definitely want to. Oh, you're 18. Good to see you, sir. Amar, where are you from? Amar Murge. Um, but until you answer, what I'm going to say is most likely what I want to do with the YouTube is I want to kind of still keep it focused on comedy. So I was actually thinking of doing some form of writing or like live writing sessions, maybe like on Sundays or on Mondays, just to kind of go through the process of writing jokes. I still wanted to feed back into my stand-up comedy and my online live stage persona, like performances, because the goal is to get better as a comedian. So this is the question is, where does the comedian, where does the YouTube identity clash with the comedian identity, right? Because I think as a YouTuber, I'm going to answer that in a second, Nicola. So basically, as a content creator, is like does it kind of cover both like YouTuber and stand-upper? I don't know. So there's two different identities coming in. But just to go back to your question was, how did I start doing stand-up? you don't really think, like, I think, especially as a maybe like Eastern European. No, it's not Eastern European. It's as a non-native English speaker, doing stand-up comedy in English is not really something. It's not the Finnish person are very nice. I found you on TikTok and you made me laugh. It's a merit because I'm Finnish and grumpy. I Finnish people do gel well with my comedy because it tends to be a bit darker, right? Vaslui has come here as well. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for jumping in. But to answer the question that before, you don't really think of doing stand-up comedy in English as a non-native English speaker. It's not something. Oh, okay, yeah. Welcome, Vito. Thank you very much for coming, sir. I appreciate you coming here. I'll just quickly answer the question so I don't get derailed. But I appreciate you guys being here, and Finland has been very good to me. I've done shows. I think the reason why the Nordic countries I like going there is because they have a higher tolerance for darker humor. So you can do people. Have different kind of problems. Like depression is such a big problem in the Nordic countries, and they do kind of identify better with darker comedy. So I am a big fan of doing shows in the Nordics. But with regards to starting comedy, I think as a non-English native, because I speak Romanian as a first language, you don't really think that you can do stand-up comedy in English because it requires, first of all, mastery of the language. Number two, it requires confidence. So it hasn't. How did I start doing it? I just figured I would try it. I would watch stand-up comedy. I think I would watch Russell Peters back in 2008 when he was kind of getting big on YouTube, and it was interesting in a lot of the cultures. So I think I would do credit like some of my early influences to Russell Peters, which is quite interesting how like an Indian Canadian influence is like a Romanian, So that's kind of like the good start. But then what I kind of went for a first show when I was living in Japan, and I kind of watched it, and I didn't actually get the guts to kind of go on stage. But then, like a year later, when I moved to Singapore, somebody asked me, he's like, "Hey man, you're kind of funny. Why don't you start doing comedy here?" So then I started doing some open mics there, and I was like, "Okay, some of the stuff is working." So it was a good feeling, And I never really had a hobby. Like I guess I never really actually had a hobby. So then I was like, "Oh, this actually can be my hobby and stuff that I can do to relax." And that's how I kind of got into it. And greetings from Munich. Hello, Taki. Good to see you here. So and I think the thing about TikTok, the one of the most interesting things about TikTok was the fact that you can see that the Romanian experience is actually very similar to the South American experience. It's very similar to like the Indian experience, to the Filipino, Indonesian. Basically, everybody that's poor has the same experience, Whereas. I myself found like when writing jokes, I do feel like Seba says, "Are you planning to come to Denmark?" Yes, I've been to Denmark before. I've been to Aarhus, Aalborg, and Odense. I'll be coming back soon. But I myself as a Romanian English comedian, I would say watching a lot of the American stand-up comedy. Yes, it's funny technically, but a lot of it is not relatable. Like they have different lifestyles, they have different problems, and I think the problems that are. Hello, Leontina. Good to see you here. You've come to the YouTube as well. I don't know how can I make you a moderator here, but. The point is I'll try to do more of these just for those of you that just joined live. I'm just kind of like celebrating reaching 9,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which is great. I love your videos. Please come to Hessen. Bro, I hope I can come to Hessen. I told Clubhouse your cake tradition. Everyone went to check your channel. Oh my god, where did you say that, Annie? Which Clubhouse room did you tell that particular tradition? It's very interesting. I was talking to a Romanian friend of mine recently, and basically they were saying that there's another there's a lot of funeral traditions in Romania. It's big on death. There's one where you have to give towels. You have to give towels to dead people. But Amar, yes, I am trying to post more on YouTube. I think the friction with posting stuff on YouTube is I haven't quite figured out what to do. You know what I mean? Like I haven't figured out the native content that to do here. I don't know why you've learned English, but I only started learning it to understand the Cartoon Network. Yes, very similar. I've also learned English from basically being in front of the TV. Shashank are there stand-ups happening these days? Nope, nothing. Hey man, Tikus says, on my way to work was so alive, I needed to say that I love your content, crowd interactions from your mother. What's happening here? Fuck, the chat disappeared. How do I see? Okay, I see it. Much love from your mother country. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I'm glad more Romanians are getting into this and are appreciating it, and I feel they can come back and do some more stuff. Do you really? Yeah, for sure. I've learned English from Dexter's Laboratory, from like Top Cat. So it's quite common. And then I think the biggest problem is a lot of non-native English speakers, Romanians, Bulgarians, whatever. They do understand English, but the problem is you can't really practice it as much, right? So it's interesting. We are expecting you in Turkey. We can't go abroad since we are getting poorer every day. That is quite funny. That is very funny, bro. And actually, the speaking of Turkey, why did the Romanians stop reading? I don't know. Speaking of Turkey, I just read yesterday that Turkey pulled out of the Istanbul Accords that were ratifying domestic violence regulations across Europe. So they were called the Istanbul Accords. They were signed in Turkey, and Turkey was like, actually, I think we're gonna go all in on domestic violence. So I'm gonna try to do some jokes about that in the future. Thank you, Leontina. I appreciate you being an OG here in the game, and I appreciate kind of the support. Exactly, it's trying to discover all this. I think I've kind of not been doing as many lives on YouTube because I don't know. There's a bit of friction. I think it's. I don't know exactly what kind of content. I feel like YouTube stuff needs to be a bit more edited, right? It's not as conducive to live stuff. I think it needs to be more, oh, I need to use Photoshop and I use, all that stuff. But maybe I'll do more of these going forward. Annie says it was random language exchange room, so I don't remember it. But are you on Clubhouse? I am on Clubhouse, and as a matter of fact, tonight I was doing quite a lot of stuff on Clubhouse. Annie, just search Dragosh Comedy. Tonight we're doing a new material room, so join that one. I'm also trying to do. Clubhouse is quite good for not having to worry about the visuals, and yeah, I'll be doing some stuff. The book Arrest. Oh my god, that's so funny. I'll be doing some stuff in the morning as well. So for sure, follow me, Dragosh Comedy, and or message me on IG, and I'll tell you when the shows are. They wanted to give a book. So the Mario's question is like, why did the Romanians stop reading? They wanted to give the book Arrest. That's so bad. It's good. Hello from Venice Beach, California. Crystal Lopez, how are you doing? Thank you very much for checking in here. I hope you guys are doing okay with the pandemic in Venice. I'm not sure exactly how that's working out. We are extended the pandemic. We have an extra 4 weeks of lockdown, so that's fun. You can post reaction content. I think that's the thing. That's the direction I'm going to go with the reaction content. I didn't want to, to be honest, I thought that the reaction content was a bit unoriginal, but it is something that people care about, and maybe I'll even talk about like some of the stuff that I'm watching now. Mario, ha ha ha. When you're coming to the Netherlands, Orhan, I would love to come to the Netherlands. I've been to a couple of places there. I've been to Amsterdam. I have been to Utrecht. I've been to Rotterdam and to The Hague and Eindhoven as well. So hopefully we'll be able to see me more in the Netherlands. The rate of English fluency in the Netherlands is through the fucking roof. So a lot of people in the Netherlands speak English, and it's definitely, I think a lot of people in Europe now speak English. So it's very good for it's such uncharted territory for English stand-up comedy. That is definitely going to be a big one. Yeah, dude, go digital, secure the bag. I'm trying to secure that digital bag, man. Trying to get that YouTube coin. Erdogan not only ruined the economy, he took the rights of women too, and they gave Poland an example. They didn't sign it too. Yeah, it's not good, man. Like, I mean, it was weird that in the fucking 21st century you still have so many people pushing back on women's rights. It's fucking insane. I was actually talking to there's a couple of some of my female comedian friends. They're not mine. Some of my female comedian friends, they run a show on Clubhouse and in live in Berlin. It's called Hairy Bitches, and they talk about like different kind of struggles that they go through. So you should check that out. Let's have a look here. Did the quarantine reduce your income? Massively. Yeah, it definitely hit everybody hard. The quarantine definitely hit everybody quite hard, but that's why the more it extends, the more frustrated we get, because now it's extended for April. But again, it's an opportunity to figure out new skills. Every challenge is an opportunity. This is what I'm telling myself. Take a breath. Yes, Annie, I shall take a breath. And Annie, you might appreciate this. On Mondays, Anna Barros, one of my comedian friends with Moni Zhang, other comedian friends, they run a Clubhouse room called Hairy Bitches. Check that out. It's about smashing shame. It's snowing in Rybnika Srat. Hasn't been so beautifully. Oh my god. Salter in Helsinki. Salter Bianca Preda. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well and having a good time in Helsinki. You were at my show right back in. When was it? Last year? 2 years ago? Can't remember. It was a good show. I remember it was a good show. It was packed. Let's have a look here. It's snowing near Rybnik. It hasn't snowed so beautifully all winter. I mean, it did snow here as well. We had like a little bit. The weather is quite weird. Like this fucking winter is really like, you have COVID and you have this never-ending winter, which is like almost like the end of March now, and it's still like super super cold outside. So hopefully we'll be able to do. But with Dragosh, what is your profession aside from being a comedian? What do you do? Some other work? Well, at the moment I mostly do writing work, but I was writing a little YouTube series for Comedy Central, and that was basically I was doing the writing, and then basically they got someone else to perform it because it was in Indonesia, no, it was in the Philippines, it was in Italy, South Africa, and also that's it. So I was doing some of that work, and then at the moment, as a profession, I started off doing headhunting when I was working before. Then I moved out of headhunting, and basically I moved into tech. So I was doing tech recruitment for a while, then I was doing tech sales, and then I started moving into partnerships. So I was doing basically mouth-based work. So a lot of mouth-based work, right? The weather is weird as fuck, indeed. Have you been to Spain? So I hope that answers your questions, Ducky. But basically, once the pandemic lifts, it's gonna be full-on comedy, bro. 100%. Especially now that 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 I have a bit more reach in terms of like people knowing about me and my comedy. Have you been to Spain? Yes, I've done shows in Madrid and Barcelona. And actually, at the moment, Jose, Barcelona is one of the few places in Europe we can actually do stand-up comedy because they still have the places open. So I hope to be able to maybe. I was thinking of actually bouncing over to Barcelona to do some shows and film some content, but I'm still debating whether it's worthwhile. So I'll think about it. But yes, gotta go, Dragosh. Best. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna be hanging around maybe for like 10 more minutes, not too long. I just wanted to celebrate the 9,000 in style. Keep up the good work. Love your stuff. Much love from Serbia. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of love from Serbians. I'm getting a lot from Bulgarians. I appreciate. I think the material and the struggle resonates throughout the Balkans, right? Uh, do you? Oh, let me just keep up the good work. Do you actually speak German? I don't speak any German actually. My German is abysmal. I have been resisting it quite heavily because I have this theory that once you start learning a language, you start also gaining some of the traits, some of the inbuilt kind of like personality nuances of that particular language. I think that was the case in Japan, also in German. So I feel like if I learn German, I start being funny. I stop being funny. But we'll see how that works out. We are surviving in Vents B77 and sunny perfect weather every day. Yeah, that's not that. I think that's really helps as well with like morale. Like we're getting no vitamin D here. It's basically I'm trying to get that D. You know what I'm saying? But there's no D happening here. It's just darkness. Hey Dragosh, keep up the good jokes. Keep watching almost a year now. A fan from Saudi Arabia. Thank you, sir. You're my friendly terrorist. Glad to hear. I would love to come to Saudi Arabia. I think I'll make it. I think I'll make it out. I think people like it. I'm trying to get that oil money. Trying to get that renewable energy money now, right? I was reading about this new big project that they have in Saudi Arabia, like the long city. That's like a very long kind of like city. Hello from Istanbul. I have you. Have you ever been here, or would you like to make a performance there? You are so talented, Dragosh. Oh my God, you bring out the shit. Bam, bam, bam. I have not been to Turkey. I see a lot of people follow me from Turkey, and there's a lot of Turkish people here in Berlin, so we gel together quite well. I would love to come to Turkey. I have heard very good things about Istanbul being a massive, massive city with a lot of cats. So I'm coming to Turkey for the pussy. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I would love to do a little vlog on comparing the Turkish, the Istanbul kebab to the Berlin kebab. A little get a little controversy going with that. You ever plan to come to America? Bro, I would love to come to the USA. There's a couple of elements that are stopping me from doing that. One of the problems with coming to the USA is I need an artist visa to go perform there. And getting an artist visa has proven a bit tricky. Actually, I haven't actually applied, so maybe I'm talking out of my ass. But I would love to do some shows in the USA, of course. Like I think the thing about doing shows in the USA, it's kind of like when you go into that space, you need to kind of get ready. You have to get an agent. You have to get ready for the industry. But I've been there before, not with comedy, with other stuff. I've been there in 2016, I think. Visit San Francisco, LA, New York, but I would love to come do some shows in the USA. Of course, the birthplace of stand-up comedy, if you will. And it is definitely in the future. I'll be coming there, but I'm not sure exactly when. I can't give you a timeline. I don't think it's gonna be this year, by the looks of it. I hope it's this year. I mean, to be honest, like the first place that I would like to come is basically I'd go to Montreal for the comedy festival if it's possible to go there, but we'll see. Where are you, Avocado Lounge? You're awesome, Dragosh. Thank you for making us laugh. No problem, Shabi. I'm glad you are enjoying the comedy. Like I said, I think the really the lifesaver here has been the fact that I really filmed a lot of the material last year. Like I filmed a lot of the shows in order for me to kind of have the content to upload here. Ever done or plan to do shows in Hungary? Yes, I've done shows in Budapest a couple of times, and I've also done a show in Sziget. So, which is very interesting that in Sziget, no, not Sziget, in Debrecen. Debrecen, you know Debrecen, right? and there was a lot of international students. The place was quite nice. I'm from Texas, North Texas to be more accurate. Well, Avocado Lounge, basically, you might be familiar with this, but because of Joe Rogan, a lot of the stand-up has been moving to Austin, right? So a lot of the stand-up kind of community, a lot of the stand-up world has been moving to Austin, Texas. Joe Rogan is opening a bar there, is opening a club there. Dave Chappelle's been hanging around there as well. So that is definitely one of the places that is on my to-go-to list, right? And kind of like try to do some comedy there. You want to go you want to play in the big leagues. You're gonna go do stand up. You're gonna go do dick jokes in the big leagues. That's the goal. So I would definitely want to check out Austin, Texas. So hopefully that'll happen maybe this year, next year. I can't really tell when, but hopefully in the near future. In the meantime, I guess my whole focus has to be writing more material, better material, more international material, stuff that people can relate to, smart stuff, funny stuff. We'll see what we can come up with. I'd love to visit New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans, they have a lot of the festivals there. The beads, they have the beads. They basically, apparently, I don't know. I think they're gonna cancel that festival because apparently the whole thing about New Orleans is about you throw beads at the girls and they take off their tops. But I think it's gonna get canceled soon. Are you related to Dracula? Yes. He was my great neighbor. Salut, cred că ar trebui să răspund tot în engleză când se face parțial. Okay, so basically in Romania, I would love to come to. I've done shows in Romania as well. I don't know if I'll ever be like that big in Romania. You know what I mean? Because I think Romania has its own ecosystem of stand-up comedy. A lot of it is in Romanian. A lot of it is mainstream. To appeal to the mainstream Romanian, you have to do it in Romanian, right? And I don't foresee me doing stand-up comedy in Romania in the next 3 to 5 years. You know what I mean? But there's also a lot of Romanians so I'll never be as big as the Romanian comedians because I won't do it in Romanian. But hopefully it'll be enough to kind of sell a couple of shows, Mardi Gras, that's the one. Când te tunzi? That is a very good question. I've also been asking myself. For those of you that don't know Romanian, he's saying, when am I getting a haircut? So most likely I'll be getting a haircut in the next couple of weeks or months. I don't know. We'll see. Când te tunzi? Mardi Gras. Yes. Hi from Mexico. Hello, the Rock Fear. Hello from Mexico, my good friend. Thank you for joining in. I actually, if you look at my statistics on TikTok, I have like a surprisingly amount of people that are following me from Mexico. Because basically, obviously, the biggest audience that I have is on TikTok, which is coming close to 200,000 very soon. So that is definitely something to look forward to. 200,000 people fucking local on like the Coco, am I right? And basically the majority of them, I'll tell you my breakdown of the analytics on TikTok at the moment. You can see what I'm working with here, right? So if you look at followers, basically I've got Romania number one here with 21%. Can you see that? Oh, fuck, I need to click here. Okay, you can't see it. But anyway, I'll read you. Romania is 21%, then Germany 9%, which makes sense. Then you have Mexico 6%. So my third biggest audience on TikTok is from Mexico. So a lot of muchachos and a lot of muchachitas are watching me from Mexico. And then United Kingdom and Indonesia. So a lot of the Indonesians. So that's pretty cool. Did I miss your previous comment? Let me take a look. Bianca. Oh yes, I was at a show in Helsinki. It was great. Looking forward to seeing you again. We are surviving the Finnish winter. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to come there very soon. Let's have a look. Mardi Gras, you are so smart and have so good and clever jokes. You should write material in Romanian as well. I don't know any Romanian comedian with your style. Grow a beard with long hair. Maybe I should do some stuff in Romania as well. I think the situation there is maybe I'll go and spend some time in Romania. I need to spend at least 2-3 months in Romania to be able to get back into my flow. Because when I start speaking Romanian again, I do have a bit of an accent. I haven't been speaking Romanian on a day-to-day basis for more than 13 years now. So I guess when I speak Romanian, I do have there's a small little Yugoslav. I mean, it's where are you, Annie Fern? Where are you in which country are you from? Are you because the thing is the TikTok only shows me the top 5 countries, so the rest of them are granular, 1%, 2%, 3%. So I don't know exactly where they're from, but I'm sure they're from all over the place. I would have thought Serbia would have been a bigger part of the audience there. For a long period of time, Norway was number 3, so that was pretty fun. But going back to doing stand-up in Romanian, I think one of the biggest problems with me doing stand-up in Romanian is that when I switch back to Romanian, it will take me a couple of days to get back into because the problem is now basically I think in English. So then going back to Romanian, obviously I still speak Romanian fluently because I've been there for 18 years, but it takes a bit of time to kind of get the circuits do jokes in Romanian, to be able to word associate and do crowd work and stand up and like understand what's funny. And one of the things I'm maybe still a bit self-conscious about is like that I don't know any cultural references anymore. I don't know who is big rappers or like music. Is Connector still a thing? Is Alex Velea still a thing in Romania? Is I don't know who else is big. Is Paraziții, Biugi Mafia still relevant? Are these Andrei? Are they still relevant in Romania? Oh my god! So I've lost a lot of those relevance elements. Salman Dragosh, greetings from Turkey. Following you, bro. Arkadash, bro, how's it going? Salim, yay, says yay with a Jägermeister bottle. Yeah, so we'll see. Like I think obviously maybe perhaps was Edward Maya Romanian? Yes, Edward Maya was Romanian. Yeah, that's correct. Edward Maya, and then Ina, and then Alexandra Stan. They were quite big for a period of time. I don't know if they're still relevant at the moment. Then there was Morandi. Do you guys remember Morandi? That was another one that was quite relevant. So all my references are like from way back then. Congrats. What was your favorite country to perform? Says Magda Mihaela, a fellow Romanian comedian here, jumping in. What was my favorite? I mean, I was surprised by Denmark. And to be honest, like I think Denmark, I always remember the show in Copenhagen. Was one of the first shows that I did. Well, basically, when I first started doing comedy, like just setting up my own shows, the first one I did was in Bratislava in Slovakia, and I had like 23 people, and I was like, oh my god, I'm covering my costs, what the fuck. And then I took a bus overnight back to Berlin. And then the other one and then the second show I did, so like, I had this little victory in Slovakia where it was like 23 people, whereas I lost 50 euros on the whole show, but it was great because I was like, oh, I only lost 50 euros? What a steal! But then I went to Copenhagen and I did the show there, and it was like overwhelming response. It was like 120 people at the show, and I was like, didn't have anybody at the door, because like there was like too many people. So then I had to kind of like get some student off the street. Hey man, I'm gonna give you 50 euros if you do the door for me, and it was great. Andre got back together. Oh my god, everybody's your music references are yeah, exactly. I don't have any musical references that are relevant at the moment. I don't know. I like one thing that I do know is that I was going to write a joke about was the fact that when I last year in March I was doing search for you. I was like, oh, I should do YouTube content based on what is trending, right? So I searched the trending searches all over the world, big countries in Europe, and everybody was searching for what is coronavirus in Germany, what is coronavirus in the US, how to treat coronavirus. And I got to Romania, and the number one trending thing in Romania in March 2020 was Gucci. I was like, what the fuck, Romania? Are you fucking kidding me? Like everywhere, the whole world is obsessed with the pandemic. Romanians, Gucci, bro. Can we get some Gucci? And then I figured out there was this song that was super popular at the time in Romania. It's called Gucci by it's like a techno mane or like a rap mane, like a something Shushano or whatever the fuck. Salam, big boy. Let's see, what are we doing here? Let's go back to read the comments. Your music, yes. Dragos, greetings from Peru. Hello, my Peruvian friends. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining this little live on YouTube here. Just celebrating 9,000 subscribers here. Thank you very much for subscribing from Latin America. I'm getting a lot of love from the Latinos. I appreciate it. Going fine. I have a friend from Romania, and I have noticed that we have a lot of similar, almost same words between Turkish and Romanian. Yeah, do you remember Kiftea? Very good. Well, remember the whole Ottoman Empire coming to Romania and doing this to the anus of the Romanians? That's why. You've been to Cluj, but did not do a crowd work there. There would have been next time when you come. Yeah, so actually when I went to Cluj, at that time, I was too... This is the funny thing. When I did a show in Cluj, I only stuck to material because I was not confident in my crowd work. I was too scared to kind of do crowd work because I figured if I do crowd work and it fails, I'm fucked. Because there's no, like, if you've been to one of my shows, especially the ones that I've done in Cluj at the time or some other places, I very rarely have, very rarely have an opening act, right? There's no opening act, there's no closing act, there's no MC, there's just me, just going on stage and I do everything. In the other places I've done even the door, like I think, if you were on my show in Helsinki, I was probably doing the door. But yeah, at that time, basically, I was still kind of like a bit self-conscious about doing crowd work because I thought if I fail with a crowd work, the whole show goes to shit and everybody's going to be disappointed. So I have to stick to material. But then, last year I started, I've only started doing crowd work since last year. So like all the crowd work that you see has been done like either in the summer or something of the sort. But that's why I didn't do crowd work at the time. You seem to be clued up on current affairs and news as well as history. How do you keep up to date? I just read stuff. I mean, the best way to keep up to date actually is to curate your own news feed. So I have a Twitter feed where I follow a couple of people. I follow a couple of websites. I have a newsletters. I follow newsletters. There's this newsletter called Morning Brew. So basically, I get the morning, you subscribe to it, and they send you news every morning. So I don't have to go to the BBC. I don't have to go to Fox News or whatever the fuck CNN. I just get Morning Brew in the morning. I read the news. And for European news, again, I go to Euronews and I see all the stuff because everything is so biased at the moment. Everything is me fake news thing going on that you can't do shit, right? You can't get proper news. And also, my new favorite source of news is a website called BalkanInsights.com. I have found that BalkanInsights.com is providing me with a lot of good insights about the Balkans. Let's have a look here. How was being staged in Bratislava and the sleeping in the Flixbus bus on the route to Berlin? Bro, that was intense. I have a whole joke about that because after the show the bus was at 3 a.m. so I finished the show at 11. I was like, I'll just wait in the bus station. It was like -12 outside, and then they in Bratislava they closed the bus station at midnight because fuck you, and then they have it closed just for 3 hours for cleaning. So everybody was kicked out of the bus station. We had to wait out in the cold. But I ended up going to a hotel, just waiting in the lobby. Intense. Hi from Argentina. Can you share with us what is your a walkout heckler experience on some of your shows? Or if you want for they made a scene. Yeah, I had drunk people got kicked out. I had didn't have walkouts as much. I had one guy that got super upset at the show in Arcus that I did because I did some jokes about suicide, and then he was like, Jesus doesn't want you to kill yourself. And then I said, if you don't sit down, I'm gonna kill myself and it's gonna be your fault. And then basically we kicked him out. But that was pretty funny, right? Jesus doesn't want you to kill yourself. It's like, bro. Trapanale Power Dude. I don't know what that is. I should check it out. Dragos, is there any chance of you performing in Greece? Yes, I will look into Greece, doing stuff in Greece. I think it would be good to go to Athens. I think a lot of people in Athens speak English. But I don't know exactly when that will be possible. Have you reacted to the Argentinian anthem yet? Not yet, but it's on the list. Have you ever seen a relationship with a Polish woman and a Turkish man? What is your reaction to that? Polish woman and Turkish man. So basically the woman has no rights now? That is a little reference to what's happening there. So she can't abort and she gets domestic abuse? What? No, I'm joking. I think it sounds like a good mix. It sounds like it sounds like a delicious mix. Sounds like a threesome. Because the Polish woman is too much to handle, maybe. Hello from Romania. Hello, Mate. Good to see you. Hello from England. Hello, Blondie Brett. Good to see you. I hope you are having a good time in England. I have seen your politicians flaunt your success with the vaccinations in the face of Europeans. And I gotta say, this whole Brexit thing sounded like a good idea now after this whole vaccination shenanigans. Especially since, I have a friend of mine lives in the UK, and they said they vaccinated half. They vaccinated half of the Trapmanele. That's what it is. Okay, Trapmanele. Okay, yeah. Alex Vela Maneshti. So, but the UK, they said that they vaccinated half of the adults. What the fuck? That's insane. They managed to vaccinate so many people. Whereas in Berlin, they vaccinated 5% of the people. 5%, when are the fuck are they going to do the rest, right? But enough about my frustrations with the vaccinations. I just want to go back on stage, man. You know what it is? Go back on stage. But it's okay because I'm going to be doing a reaction to Trap Manele in the future. I'm going to be recommending Trap Manele to react to. What is your favorite conspiracy theory related to COVID? I mean, I don't really know that many. I know the Bill Gates one. I know the 5G one. There's a new one going around now about the fact that apparently the COVID vaccine is reducing your fertility rate. Have you guys hear about this one? There's a new conspiracy theory going around that the COVID vaccines, the AstraZeneca, the whatever, they are actually designed to reduce your fertility. So basically we have a depopulation in the future. So we have less people. So it's the fertility vaccination COVID theory. If you haven't heard about it, it's hot on the press. It's coming up apparently, and fertility. Who needs babies when you can get a dog anyway? Am I right? Dude, Israeli vaccinated all too. Yeah. The Israelis, they fucking. They went hard on that. Actually, I have an Israeli friend, and he explained to me why that was. And apparently, one of the reasons why Israel did so well is because they agreed to kind of give away data. Well, not data, but they agreed to share information on the people that are getting. Basically, they signed we allow users to share this information anonymously. Whereas in Germany, they're very big on data protection. They're we can't share any information about what the results are, how many people are getting it, and whatever. Blondie says, My favorite conspiracy is that blood clot issue. Have none of these men read info on the pill booklet? I don't think they have. I have not read the info on the pill. We, except Palestine. Yeah, exactly. Your background reminds me of John Oliver's show with his blank void. Yeah, this is just like I'm just in my co-working space. Oh my god, I'm a hamster. I'm a cat. I'm my co-working space here. It's kind of like no one else is left. They close it at 9, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up soon. But yeah, it's pretty. My internet at home sometimes is very wonky, so that's why I'm doing it here. And also, I can't focus when I'm at home. Whenever I get home, I just get super sleepy because I associate it with sleeping, right? So. But for those of you wondering, I rent like a space in a co-working space, and I just do a lot of stuff here, which has been it's been very good for my mental sanity. So I don't just hang around at home by myself. By the way, do you know I can clap with one hand? One hand clapping. If this comedy thing doesn't work out, fuck, I should do this as a TikTok. This should be a TikTok, right? Like me doing one hand clapping should actually be a TikTok. Maybe that's the future. Me one hand clapping on TikTok. Pretty tense. Okay, I think on that note, guys, I think on that one hand clapping the one hand clapping mystery, man. I think on that one hand clapping mystery, I can actually wrap it up. I'll answer a couple more questions here and then wrap it up. Let's see. Where are you living in Berlin? Wedding and Neukölln. In Romania, I can watch a show. Potentially in Romania, I'll be doing a show hopefully in September. Physics is done. Exactly. Buzel talent. All right, well, on that note, guys, I shall wrap it up there. Thanks a lot once again. Thank you for getting me to like 9,000 subscribers. Big fan of you for helping me out here. Hopefully, we'll be able to do shows live, come to the shows whenever they come back. And I'll be doing some more content here. If you have any suggestions on what content I should do for YouTube, let me know. I'll maybe do some more Anthem reactions, some TikTok reactions. I'll be getting into the mix there, and also I have a new podcast coming up soon. I interviewed this Romanian girl that doesn't speak Romanian. I'm going to be putting up that podcast up very soon. She talks about like the living in Germany and in Spain, discrimination, and like parents and like basically a third culture Romanian. If you're not familiar. But okay, thanks a lot, guys, for getting in here. I appreciate you. Let me just read the last ones. My family is something like Jewish. My family is Muslim. We are planning to be atheists together. There's no way to solve this problem. Okay, yeah, it's just Dogecoin, bro. Dogecoin. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice evening, and see you guys. I'll do more of these lives on YouTube as well. Thank you. Bye.